There you have it. Another day where I'm still in an internet prison. So, another day of thermonuclear weapons, internet prison, no income, snap card off, no housing. So, it is what it is. That's it in terms of acknowledging um, things that people try to relate off of. So, today's Sunday. Typically, I've been taking that day off. Um, I've got my schedule set up so I have to do my four things at the very least. And where is it? Ugh. And then I guess decide if I'm gonna walk over to the store, return bottles. I don't think I'm gonna do my regular walk. So let's see. So that's good so far. This week I got back to not having that many days off because that's crazy. But so I don't know if people remember a little bit ago, like a year ago, they were interviewing people in what's called Portland, like the Oregon area, and they were talking about how tired they were. Okay, so um, radiation can make people pretty fatigued. So, uh, so yesterday was pretty awesome in terms of people continuing to quote unquote wake up to their actual reality, but remain calm about it. Where you had bursts of light followed by snow, bursts of light followed by snow, bursts of light followed by snow, rather than sort of dragged out over days. So that was pretty spectacular yesterday. Um, so I got up about 7:30. I guess that's probably like a regular time. Having coffee, listening to my tunes, doing morning mirror. So same thing I've been doing for I don't know. I think I've been doing this now for about a decade. So, some of it is kind of my species behavior, but I don't exist in a room like this. So clearly, that's um, almost like the Stations of the Cross, where in 2020 I observed how much brain loss the population has when they tried to actually mimic a profound insanity, and that was an excuse for it, where I was being literally attacked on my land piece. And then people's brains in a disassociation decided that's a procedure to become my species. And then it got into the business about vaccines can give you immunity and stuff. And um, hopefully, most of that is sort of calmed down and people stop ignoring people that are ill and they're committing criminal acts upon me and others. Not you attack them, but that's not a procedure that goes on. Okay. So pretty severe brain loss. Someone jogging, so that's good. Um, Depends on how I feel. So I did 15 minutes on Friday, and then yesterday was my day off, like completely. So I would assume I'd probably do 30 minutes, especially since I'm not going to take a walk other than if I go to the store. I don't have to go. So it just depends on how I feel, what's going on with the conversation. I got plenty of water, plenty of soda. So um, sometimes it's what is that, a mile and a half or something total for each way or something. Sometimes it's nice just to. Um, no, I ended up having a bunch of fruit, so still having a little bit of a difficulty eating more food, consuming more calories, still having a little bit of a difficulty with it. So I'm trying not to stress out about it because everything that's going on, right? Just I'm clearly not like withering away into nothing, so I'm not like bulking up like typical, but it's can't get crazy with it. Like even just the peanuts and dried fruit, that's enough calories and fat for anyone for a day, I'm sure. So, and I'm not just going up the hill and stuff every single day. So some of it is just kind of probably a manifestation of sort of like frustration and stress, right? And kind of like the other species does, but theirs is sort of what they don't even put any thought. I think it's what they're doing, and it doesn't matter because they're. It doesn't matter. God always understands them. Other people understand them. Everybody's got 14 problems. Nobody. Yeah, everybody's got a problem. That's one of the things out there in the Quincy and stuff. You just go, no, everybody doesn't got a problem. It's like a goal to make sure that everybody has a flaw and nobody can succeed at anything. Nobody is sober. Nobody is happy, really. No one has a happy marriage. No one likes their kids. Yeah, no one isn't mentally retarded. So no one is not murderously insane. Just okay, because it's a primate kingdom. They all have to be the same. When they started doing that weird stuff where they all put the scar makeup on and they're happier doing that. There's no individualism, and that's why it's so weird. And they'll just keep attacking anybody that's sort of different. Not they embrace different. They try to act like they embrace different, but they don't. So once you get to the core of it, you go, I know what you are. I don't have to ask you a thing. Okay, it's just I know what you are. I'm really familiar with your disease and your brain death and your species. So I'm not a fan, apparently, of primates. They don't live on my land piece. So you have to walk to get here, and clearly these folks came here on boats. They did not walk here. They probably don't know anything about. I'm not sure if it's blubber, but I explained the thing about eating raw bacon and stuff, so they don't have a taste for that. I'm sure that's the only way to eat bacon is they want it to be crispy and hard. Okay, they don't like the taste of fat, but yet they do. Okay, I don't know if it's blubber or not. There's something where it's basically, yeah, I don't know if they used to take wheel oil, as you call it, and bake with it. I don't know. But yeah, like it could have been a mix up of that, but it's something about where it's like a mix of like cranberries and basically this fat, so you don't die. Um, they're eating gel packs so they can run more. I'm sure they eat fat mixed with cranberries. What's this? Da, 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 da. I can go 4 more miles without falling down. Anyways, why? Just because like they have no interest in how much heroin cool people can use without dying, and then they get the thing, and you jump up, and that's a game. Uh, we, we have no interest in that, thank you. But some of them want to know it's what? It's the blubber and the cranberries, and then 4 more miles before I fall over or I get dizzy or something. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really matter because of my age. But you go, these things will make you never want to have sex again. I swear to God, you just go, this is the most disgusting thing. I don't know if we're all going to be lone wolves or something and just, what is God doing here? Because you things are so disgusting. Yeah, it's got to be like social distance and getting older, and people are just not doing that right now. It's in the book where people say in the book, if this is what marriage is, I'll just stay single my entire life. Thank you. Like, you people are so disgusting to me. It's part of social distancing. The disciples say, if this is what marriage is, we'll just stay single. It's right in the book. Right? Just, ew. Because you're surrounded by them. That's why. And clearly, this is not a time to be producing children here. It was all explained. You have to trust God. If you're not able to meet our species and have a normal thing and have a way to have a child and stuff, then don't worry about it. It's almighty. I used to think that when I was married, and I still believe it to be true because of me, not him. It's like the second that he was doing what he was doing, he lost his work, he lost his entire income. Dude, that was also that I could raise children. Whether you like it or not, that's why. Not so you and your new girlfriend can. She was supposedly making 75 grand. I doubt it. I think that was a lie. So she can have 14 elective surgeries and you guys, da 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 da, and destroy me and destroy the children. That's not why God made you have that type of an income. Anyways, just like the twins. We're not having another one. She is not getting what she wants. I think she's getting everything she wants. Thank you. And good night. Boom. Did she brandish a puff? Or you said it? The guy in Walmart did. He goes, "Pff." Okay, see how God's explaining it? Okay, there you go. Did I give you a script when I was talking about the kingdom of heaven for you to go? No. Just like at the hotel, I walk into a room and the chick starts going, my son, like she's got her son on a phone. Hello? So what's the chances that you're gonna quote unquote cycle back here? Zippo. Next. Yeah, you just no, because that's too much like a script where I just walk in and go, uh, I just forgot what I was going to say. That's what I'm saying. Like that's not just walk in and oh, why am I a prisoner? Why am I a hostage? Okay. Well, God has other forms of life. Stay calm. Zippo. Bloop. Next. You leave the hospital. Bloop. Other forms of life. Have you seen Brian? Bloop. Other forms of life. You can't tell me that when he may be discharged. Bloop. Other forms of life. Nope. I thought I was like, are we gonna get a snow? It doesn't say anything about snow. And then I guess it's gonna warm back up again, but it's gonna be a couple of days. It's gonna be like 50 something. Is it next? Is it next Thursday? I just looked at it. It's right here. I think that yeah, that was the end of the coffee. Feels like 24. It doesn't feel like 24 to me. It feels extremely warm. Uh, oops, I feel refresh. Still saying that Thursday's 45. It, Tuesday the 27th, 53. So you get a 2 day break. How's that? You get a 2 day break on Saturday next week. So you're gonna go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you get a 2 day break, and then you're going to go up again. So clearly, I'm still standing here another day, and I'm still in an internet prison, don't have an income, don't have housing, don't have an active SNAP card. Okay? Same thing, 13 years. So the whole, everybody gets to see the wonderment of a dominant stance where the brains are so gone that God is just containing a population that would fall into all out war for no reason as they're being put down. Probably it takes some people that are not familiar with this process a while to realize what's going on. Like because words and stuff come out of their mouths, you really like you're so over 13 years, you're so your baseline for normality is like just everything that happens. You believe then it's the next thing and the next thing because you don't flip out, but you go that's not normal stuff that just is going on out there. It is not normal. Okay, so um, yeah, I'm gonna check the news. It's a little bit early for me to start my routine. So another good day. They're all gonna be good days. I mean, clearly there's always the worry about ending up on the street uh, until I hear a person's voice and stuff that she's still living. That's basically every day. So just the fact of forcing people to exist like that, yeah, you just there's no love loss at all for a population. And then I can tell that it's way beyond the point where they try to relate off of people's terror and stuff. It's just really in a lockhold to be sent to heaven, with all due respect. Okay, so they went through this out west with being tired and stuff, and then you were given some statistics yesterday that we hope is not made up stuff that explains about the resistance to come to the phase out area. Okay, because Massachusetts isn't even on that list. Okay, right. Like, well, some of it's a bit of a trick, I guess, with the map, with the thing, and then you all thought to betray me and go somewhere else and leave me here, so I have no love lost. I explained it about people trying to pile into Florida and then getting babooed, especially Florida, because you clearly did that. You felt that 6 minors were hostages, and so that wouldn't get babooed. Why would I get babooed, but they wouldn't? Why would they? Why would they not get babooed, but I would? Interesting. Okay, and then because that's where my house and stuff was, and the fact that you wouldn't even allow me to stay in the state, so you fell into a trap. Okay, it's the whole land piece. The whole North America is in the agreement fully. Okay, so maybe some people will put out other lures and it makes it a little bit easier to put people down. Okay, so you're going to pile into Oklahoma and build your own houses? Ba boom. So clearly they had to get you out of what is that, North Dakota, because this year, weren't you taking waters out of a heated refrigerator and it froze? That's not a place to be living. It's, this stuff is compassionate, believe me. Why'd you pile in there? You had any way of people stay there normally or they migrate normally? Why would you stay in that area in the wintertime? Because you don't have any animals to follow around and you don't do that anyway. You don't go, they're all leaving. Yeah, we probably should pack it up this year, you know? So that is scary, man. I mean, it's scary, but it's not because clearly when it's that cold, how long would it actually take you to just die? If water is freezing that fast, how fast is blood going to freeze? So, not a place to be living. Um, I would over the thing about the survivalists, and it is what it is. So I think anybody that realized when I went out to New Mexico what happened and that I was forced to come back here would realize it's not safe out there. Both places, Florida, New Mexico, anywhere I go that these beings force me to come back here because they think I'm a boron shield. They're the opposite of Florida. Florida thinks children are a boron shield. Here, no one's a boron shield. No one's a boron shield. Okay, so, anyways, you never negotiate with hostage takers. And I've tried to explain it to the criminals repeatedly, but that's a thing they can control. That's why they won't stop it. And it's a way that God indicates to you that you have to kill them. They're never gonna, their brains are completely gone and they're never gonna, it's like some insane, just like Braveheart. All you have to do is give this woman housing. They won't do it. That's God telling you how gone their brain is and how dangerous they are. They got to be put down. So it's the World Wide Web, correct? See how they're in agreement. God gets them to the point where they want you to kill them. They want to go to heaven. Send them to heaven. Bada boom, bada bing, going to heaven today. Boom. There's no more happy birthday. That's what people used to say. Okay, there's no more happy birthday because these folks, happy birthday is part of a binder. They don't have happy birthday where they're going. Going to heaven today. Bada bing, bada boom. Heaven. All I can say is that your Jesus will most definitely be there. That's not a lie. Your Jesus will most definitely be wherever you're going. Okay, because it wouldn't matter what being came here, it's not going to be suitable to whatever's going on that God has you prepared for your next thing. So, whatever that is, whatever Jesus is, it will exist when you guys get there. So, I can only tell you what that means to me, and then you learn something about my species. But the nature of your species really has no interest in learning about another species, right? Like you would like listen to something I said, and you take four pieces of it and attach it to yourself in some bizarro manner, like a primate, because you think that makes you better. It's part of the binder. You're supposed to try to pretend to be me. It's part of the binder. But the way you are now, it's just completely deranged. You could never have a mentor. You couldn't even have a mother, most of you. You couldn't even have a teacher like a professor in college. None of it. You're just so ill that you'll watch something someone's doing, kill them, and then take four pieces of that in some primate derangement. And then you're going to take your offspring and give them four pieces of breadcrumbs because Mary Lagore can't eat. Okay, so it's just not a functioning species, not a functioning kingdom. Oh yeah, just these sprint drills. If they could, they would just go bloom and get rid of all the people doing sprint drills, and then they'd make up some insane thing that's a procedure. Oh yeah, that's all they do. That should make sense for some of the stuff they've been doing over the course of history. So like it's good for them to really feel like I guess they've ruled the earth and then this is a new thing. That's why you go, it's something new. You don't need to worry about it. That's why I tell people that guy, George, I go, you wouldn't want to go out with me. You don't even know what a psycho is. Okay? You have to trust me. Never in a day would it work out. You people want like females that you consider to be nurturing. They're nurturing, they take care of you, they're friendly with all your male friends and stuff. That is what you want. Okay, you don't want anything to do with my species. It just becomes an abusive belittlement because you're not my species and we find you gross, and we don't want to have to keep saying that because it is kind of mean. Okay, it's just never would it work out. You have to think about like this thing with Alfred, how he's short and fat like that. Okay, and then other things that don't, aren't good. And so then all of a sudden, because he did it to himself, but everything has to be my fault. He did it to himself that I don't want to be morphed into a man's mother. Okay. And have fights every single day in front of children about anything because you're so unhappy and disgusted. So I don't do that. And then some of them become, okay, just it's like this. You've got to move out because I don't do relationships where there's even arguments and stuff. It's like you gotta. This is insane. It's been like uh, playing house or whatever for 20 years, and now you've got to go because what you're doing now is your parents, and I don't do that. Okay, just that is why I told you in 2006 I was done. So I know things about myself, not I'm having a midlife crisis or I'm in a psychosis, and that's the reason I wanted a divorce in 2006. I never wanted to marry you in the first place. So, anyways, it becomes abusive because they force you to be abusive. They're so sort of, yeah, it's like you literally have to become abusive. And you go, and then all of a sudden you're on these trips, and here's a bunch of photographs. Okay, see how this is not going to work out? Thank you. Michael Foran. I liked Mia. Do you actually think I'm trying to go out with you? What are you, 24 at the time? Yeah, it would have been nice if you showed that level of anger towards that disgusting Chrissy person. That was gross, man. Just, ugh. That was gross, man. Just, ay, ay, ay. I don't know, man. She was probably maybe my age, but she looked like she was about 70 and she was not attractive. And she was clearly a pedophile. And you just go, one more time, touch his leg. Like I was like in a fury sitting there. It was like when I was at South Station going, I'm not getting up. It was like that. Anyways, see how I said take a shower and then you said okay and then you said no and then your mother made you do it, but you didn't even get in the shower. But I thought it was funny. Oh no, you said okay. You're gonna learn to stop doing that today. Probably that's what she was thinking. You're gonna learn to stop doing that today. You said okay when she just walked right up to you and said, then you go okay, okay, nope, now we're going. She had shampoo, everything. She went and bought shampoo and stuff. Let's go. Stop telling old women okay everything they say. What in the hell? It's nice. six in the cooler with the hamburger because I didn't cook the hamburger last night. I gotta cook the hamburger today. I might actually cook the chicken today, but not gonna eat it. I cook it all, put it in a thing, but I don't want to put it in a crock pot. It tastes way better when you bake it. One thing too that I found out about those the chicken breasts, it's almost like parboiling. If you like bake them and then put them in the fridge and then bake them again, yeah, like that tastes good too. So I might do that. Start doing that. But anyways, so then I put the soda in there. So it's cooler than just being in the rum, yeah. I think the chicken's probably completely thawed out now, so I'm gonna have to cook both things because I didn't do the hamburger last night. I already have peanut shelled, so like I'm all set with that for today. And I've probably got like two more. Well, I've probably got like 2 more days of peanuts, and then well, I have a little bit of snap units. I think I have like 130 snap units or something. So, but I don't really want to burn it on peanuts because of the water and the soda. I usually just end up altering what I'm eating. So it's obviously complete insanity. That's why they've got to be put down. That's what I'm telling you. It's 13 years of it. It's just over and over and over again. Just that's their idea of fun. That's a new system here as we all wait for the nuclear material to kill these things. So you just got to think about beings that are profoundly retarded and they can't think of anything to do. And it's just the same thing over and over again, the dominances and everything that don't have any meaning. So, anyways, I'm glad to see about the weather reports. Oh, yeah, did I mention she's already up and sitting up and changing her clothes and stuff on her own? Okay, so she will be good to go today for maybe having. Uh, when I go to do the jog walks, I'll check on the laundry because I know there's a bunch of stuff that was put down there. So I could probably use to do laundry again, but since I'm doing jog walks every other day, I'll do it Tuesday. Tuesday's the next time, just so I don't. I've realized that if I do it right when it gets to the top, it's only one load. So I don't think today's going to be a good day to do it because I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of her stuff down there. So yeah, everything's fine in terms of people. I know he's already been up, so and it's not like up yelling and stuff. Just clearly well enough to be up, and I don't hear anybody vomiting or anything. So 51,000 housing units in one city. Yep. So you'd be surprised. There's probably really not that many people even seeking housing anymore. It's just once all that nonsense is thrown out the window, you realize exactly the scope of just the madness. You have 400 houses in Plymouth at least. Those are the ones that are listed on one website as vacation rentals. So they're going to be just put down. So I would say whoever took over Quincy housing, they got to be put down too. Yeah, it's like basically almost like informing me that that entire area is a kill zone. That wasn't really expressed to me in those types of terms like it was last year. Right, last March, April, May. It became obvious it's a kill zone. They, I got to tell you, it's already done. They started doing it at least by 2020, because that's why the police force changed, and that's why that cop didn't want me sleeping outside. Right? You're either in a shelter or you've got to leave because it's a kill zone. And just agreeing to go into the shelter, they saw everything that happened, and clearly the shelter had no explanation for why I was outside. They had none explanation for it, because they were going around doing outreach to people that didn't even want them to. Like Jen Vickery was reporting being stalked and harassed by people working there. Jerry reported it, and Jerry was already in housing. Right? They try to act like Jen can't tell you anything. They constantly tell people that Jen is delusional and all this stuff. Okay, so the cops know not to listen to these people about any of the homeless people. Right, so it just a person could be completely insane, but they could convey to you something that's true. So consistently saying that people are mentally ill is not gonna. That doesn't fly. Yeah, that doesn't fly. When you see the stuff going on, you just go, you don't have any explanation for how this woman is out of your hotel and she's on the ground for 2 months and you don't come out here. They never even came out and talked to me, nothing. They didn't even send another resident to go, yeah, so and so with the shelter wants you to know you can come into the shelter. None of that. They don't even care. They're completely brazen about it. You might as well just call up the cops and go, we did it on purpose. This is not anything she did. We just kicked her out of there. Ah. Yeah, I think the cops got that in 2021. The 2022, I think the cops got that. So even when you go into the place, because this is exactly what happened, even when you go into the place and go, I had to come in here. I didn't want to come in here. I was outside. I was just forced out of a house in Dedham, and the cop said I had it. This cop sent me in here. They don't care. I know, you just go, that's definitely a kill zone. Just, I informed you I was there because the police sent me in there. Okay, thank you. That's all. And so their response to that was to try to kill me. Okay. Is that why the cops sent me in here? Are you supposed to dispose of U.S. citizens and throw us in the ground? Are the cops working with you to kill U.S. citizens? Is that why you got $4 million to kill me? Because it sure as hell wasn't to house me. Okay, thank you. They still think it. Even after an entire year went by, they still think that's why they're giving money. They're supposed to be trying to kill us in the secret plot plan. That's why they're getting paid. Well, because their brain can't figure out what's going on. What's going on is you've been found guilty of treason and crimes against humanity. So the world people are killing you, and then you can't cycle back here because I'm the Virgin Mother and I end cycles of rebirth. Okay? So it's just God's got other plans for you. You're not staying here. There's not going to be any more governments. There's not going to be a police force. Okay? So when you just go, that means I can do this to a person, you don't stay here. You don't stay in this physical body. That's all. Just like a bunch of Quakers say that a bunch of Quakers had a campsite at Massasoit, okay? And then all of a sudden, these people went, yeah, and just like came in and like sliced the husband, and raped all the children, and pulled out the mother's hair and fingernails. Okay? Then God goes, okay, so this is the deal. You can't stay here in this physical form. Okay? There's not a way to quote unquote forgive this. It's not about that. It means forgiveness of sins like sicknesses. And even though you are sick, that doesn't explain your psyche. Okay. Just you're a different species. Like to fix a psyche, you don't exist. It goes poof. Okay. So that psyche, this is your best hope, and I would go with this, is that that psyche conforms to a different form of life. I hope that is that beginning to make any sense. Okay, like that psyche that thinks those thoughts and has those desires at opportunity, there isn't a way to fix it. It just goes poof, and then you don't exist. That would be non-existence. It can, you not you can be fixed. Like that really, I believe that goes beyond a faulty binder. Like the whole nature of having a binder, it means the eye is sick. So some of what happens during a brain plague and something that actually reduces the outer layers is it's sort of, some people call that your true self, especially in psychopaths and primates, because what happens is a primate actually doesn't have a true self. So they become a little bit lost, like if for lack of other members to copy and stuff. That's a primate. Okay. Whereas, uh, I guess, but the way I consider it, it all comes from the creator. It has to be inputted. He at least had to input me. And then it's all mixed up in my brain how that is expressed. But it's all the Holy Bible. He went through a thing of pointing it out to me. And I was going, are you doing that thing again? I'd be writing and go, because he's telling me he's doing it. Are you doing that thing again? Okay. And then I'd look it up and go, what in the heck? Okay, so it's sort of like the stuff with the people with the mixing of the music. That's a good way. Like you just go, okay, so here Ludacris has a song, right? And then five people go, they take that, and then it's sort of like do and stuff. Does that make sense? Okay, right. Like it's all the same input. It's all the same data entry. So that's what makes people unique is how their brain and psyche, or maybe the psyche is all the same, and then whatever brain, how that's expressed, but it's all the same input from the creator. It's a species. There's not really a variation, right? It's sort of like squirrels. There's probably differences in squirrels that we just don't notice. Okay, but or I don't know if that's a species like a primate where they all have to look the same. Okay, we don't have any of that too. I noticed that like there used to be a day where people wanted to be different from other people, and because it's the end of your species, it's gotten more prevalent where you actually feel uncomfortable if you're unique. You don't like it. That's seen as weird. We want to be at least, I guess, a unique person. Um, Even identical twins are not the same. Okay. He doesn't have the same perspective I do. Right. You need to think about what you're doing, but I'm not getting into it. I'm not going to be baited into it. Yeah. Um, so moving on. We all know the pattern there. That's why I just mind my own business because it's not my business. It's just per observations. For a couple of days when she just does nothing but lay in the bed, there's none of that yelling. So, right. Okay, so a UTI antibiotic made a woman unable to walk. I'm kind of thinking it's not from that. Okay. Is that more comfortable to deal with? Okay. 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 Well, it sounds made up. She looks extremely ill, like she has uh, some sort of immune problem or she has lung cancer. Okay. That's all you can do is antibiotics and it's palliative care, antibiotics and painkillers. Uh, okay. Okay. I guess so. I mean, I know it's a conflict about why, but they really like to blame other things. Yeah. Like a person, it's not even about, because she's in hospice care, it's not even about them dying. They don't want to believe it's cancer or something. They want to just, or it's nukes. She wants to believe that it's somebody else's fault, even in death. It's somebody else's fault because they gave her an antibiotic. And that works for her and she's gone. Right. Some people will lie if they feel that it's compassionate for the person. So it is what it is. Yay, bright sunny sun. Okay. Um, excuse me. Okay. Kamala Harris hopes to break through the Biden. I know it's already 10, but I have plenty of time if I'm not doing a walk. So, yeah, I'm not even going to set up a time yet for when I'm going to start doing um, my first three things. I have the maths down. That way I somehow don't forget. So, I'm just looking at the sun. Bright sunny sun. That's good. Always good to see. February. Well, is it untrue? City of Quincy? Okay. Well, just helping you because you're clearly not my species. So, um, it's the desire, your inward desire, is to drink, do drugs, and just constantly rubbing on each other. So maybe crickets. They'll probably feel like the same thing. Kamala Harris hopes to break through the Biden campaign bubble. Trump falsely claims Haley supported Obama over Romney. There was another thing about space last night. I don't know. I don't know the answer. They refused to actually respond to me. And then I already explained they completely deleted a Facebook because of it. Because they know it's correct. And they flip out and they keep trying to destroy me. It's just the most bizarre behavior. Okay, so it was some sort of a question about those stars, superstars or something. Okay. So they were asked if it's actually there, if there's a such thing as captured light. Oh, this was my question, but I was already going to bed. So I had a question if uh, they've ever, when they go out to space, if they ever taken a flash and like did a flash, like with the camera or one of those things that does a flash of light. Have they ever done that? What happened when they did it? That's a valid question, right? When you're in space, you have one of those things, like you're going to take a picture. What happened? There's got to be something. Come on, they didn't do that. Like on the space shuttle, when it goes up in the space like that, it doesn't have a flash on the outside. That wouldn't be an experiment. You go, all right, now we're going to test out and see if you can see a flash in here. You would expect that to be condensed and taken away, wouldn't you? That's what I would almost think would happen. I don't know. But anyway, the thing about that thing, I'm assuming it's super far away. Something about, are you sure it's there? And it's something about it's reflecting off of something and coming back, but it's only going to go that far. It has something to do with how fast light travels or something. And then, so it's almost like it's captured there, but because of the distance, since you're not out there, you don't know if it's actually there, right? Okay. That was the question. And then I was directed to a thing. It was about refraction or something. And it sounded just like the other time. And I went, maybe this is something that they're asking. I know they refused to actually answer me. It's all right. God has a way of, I know, just, you would think, you would think, you would think so, right? Just 13 years down the toilet, wasn't meant to be. Just flush it. That's why you got to go into another form. I mean, you're talking about any knowledge that the brain can even do that. That the brain can even do that because it's already stuff that you have, and you don't want to listen to stuff like Phil's at the airport and stuff, because then I'm crazy. You don't want to hear all that. Okay. Because you have to have your preconceived notions about destroying me and your happiness. So you can't even comprehend a person like you have the bracelet of Anubis on. That's why you cannot stay here. So you're never going to get any new knowledge. Okay. And you could have had any medical cure that exists, any medical cure, manganese, That's not a guessing game. Manganese, Israel should be destroyed on Thanksgiving. Okay, so you can't exist here. This is not going to work out for you in these physical bodies. You don't make any sense. You would build a man at health and kill me, kill a literal prophet. I'm going to start yelling at each other. Kill a literal prophet and then build that, and you're all mentally retarded. So everyone, I think, that has a thinking mind still understands that. And it's just, we go, this is like really unbelievable that we have to do this. It's like we're taking one for the Gipper, as they call it, in order for the human race to, in order for my species to exist here, for the doodle bobs to exist here. So any of those folks, any of those people that have like 150 IQ, that's because of Almighty God. Now, whether or not they have a specialized binder to do his bidding, and to say that someone was like really out there, like dangerous, they'd have to be like that to contain them. He will give them knowledge in their head to contain them. Okay, it works for like their grandiosity and stuff. Other than that, it's got to be, I mean, that's still coming from him, but it's through a binder. And you would know that after 2011. Other folks, that is a different species. And it's almost as if it would get so terrifying and disgusting that someone would go around looking at academic scores and then trying to put mercury in all our heads and kill us. And then their children seem normal. That's exactly what has been going on. So God's putting a stop to it. It's almighty. He looked ahead. So there's not a way to outwit the extinction, and there's not a way to extinct my species. You would never be able, just like you couldn't think of the name Julianne Moore, you can't tell me what happened to Brian Buchanan. He will not let that into your head. He will not let it into your head to do anything that actually extincts my species from planet Earth. That's why you're sitting at a desk in a rundown RMV at me, a 52-year-old who can't produce any more children, going, and you don't have any children, and you don't have any children yourself. She said something about having a grandchild, which is probably her partner's kid and not even hers. Okay? Yeah, you just, why anybody would ever be doing, it's just the most disgustingly insane thing. All you want to do is go, God. It's like that thing in that video, and the woman is acting like this is, oh, and she's becoming more accustomed to looking at that as a face. That's beautiful to her. A literal ape. I know, I'm sure there's people, that's why the reporters like talk about mind blowing. Yeah, you just go, that's beautiful. Okay. Please, God, more thermonuclear weapons. Just that is, it's, God is explaining it to you so you don't like stuff like these people, and then you go, what is going on? Everyone's dying. Everyone is not dying. Everyone is not dying. Okay, it's just you can't have 8 billion of my species. It's too many. So they literally are going into like a thing, and I don't know how many of them are going to exist, because it's all basically the same psyche when it comes down to it. So that's up to God what he's going to maintain of them. You ever hear about people that are sort of approaching dying, and they become sort of more spiritual and calm and stuff, but they don't turn into a literal animal like that? Okay, just some of the stuff that these beings talk about and stuff, you just go, well, I mean, I am glad to have the testimony, but that's not going to be possible with a being that sociopathic. That's why I became in person. That is, someone else could have gave me that testimony, dude, just sitting next to me on the lawn. No, and he's my boyfriend, and he's trying to sex me and stuff, and he's like repulsively sadistic and psychotic, and trying to elate off of people abusing me. Uh, yeah, just that is. I explained it to the females that that's what you guys do. They don't want to hear it. He just explained it to you again. Proceed at your own risk. I'm sure there's women of the other species that would prefer to not be involved with dudes like that. Like they really want a neutered male who can't get 14 chicks in a day because that's all they're gonna do. That's why he's so bored. You gotta figure he's 36, so I'm sure by the time on this land piece in his history, by the time he was 16, right? Obviously he's bored. Right. So then it's, oh, that people perceive this female as the hottest female, just like that Geo guy told me. That's why he did it. They base it on what other people are doing too. I explained that after the first night I was there. Right. I don't even know if he. I don't believe he actually views me as attractive. That Brian Buchanan person. I don't think he actually does. It's just he sees how other males are reacting when I walk into the place. So then I'm a target. It's similar to um, dudes that I talk to. All of a sudden, they're a target by these females. Yeah, just that's exactly what happened. He just wanted to parade me around to his friends and stuff, not he thought I was hot. And then it just becomes what's the best way for him to try to elate off of this? And clearly, you saw it all play out. I mean, that's a person that's completely psychotic. So, anyways, yeah, like if you're the other species, maybe stay away from dudes like that. Unless you like that stuff. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to become like a wacko and you're going to go around screaming at toilet and screaming at this person and stuff. And then he's going to have these people attack you for his own enjoyment. I'm all set with that. There's nothing loving about that. I don't use crystal meth. That is I'm all set with that, man. Just listening to these weird songs and smoking the stuff and everything is horrifying deviance, like you folks do. Do your brains die? I'm all set with that. There is nothing hot about that to me. So, I mean, yeah, maybe if he had actually, I guess in a sense, he was somewhat explaining himself. Yeah, just I wasn't. I figured he was doing it like he would, like I met a person and he's explaining to me his past. Get it? Like he's gonna change, and that's not what he was doing. Yeah, so this is what I do, and then I'm gonna sick all these people on you, and then I get off on it. Yeah, I'm all set with that. Thanks. And then we can secretly meet at Wollaston Beach, and probably that's probably what he was doing with that dude. Just because that dude was partaking in it because he was all messed up too. Yeah, like getting off on women flipping out and stuff. You just introduce a female. Um, Jen was doing that stuff with Joanne. Yeah, just people are ill. Ill, ill, ill. Not my forte. Okay, so let me see. Nice, bright, bright, sunny sun. Ah, just tired. Yeah, tired. Honestly, I would say just sort of like tired. Yeah, maybe a little bit of like I don't know if it's really brain fog. I gotta say, it's probably just fatigue. Yeah, that registers differently with me. And I didn't drink enough water yesterday, but It's back and forth with me, so I don't have any aches and pains. No, I have no physical complaints. I don't feel like that from the two other times, the 2 other weeks. So yeah, obviously they're not. They're back. They're already back to their regular stuff. So well, if I had to guess, it's the process of giving us all lung cancer. I mean, that's all it is, the land clearing. So, yeah, some of the symptoms will probably let up, but I mean, once you get the lung cancer, it's just going to be like this until we all go to the next thing. So, I can't care. It's all going to work out for the best. It's like I'm dragging a pile of animals that are criminally deranged. I'm dragging them down to the depths of the sea in the Titanic. Right. So you just have to plan for a rebirth, and then these things won't exist. Like, so you can't care what they think. Some of them probably think, like that George person, we're all in an extinction. You can't care what they think. That's why I won't listen to it. I won't listen to it. So I can probably close this. It's starting to feel a little bit cold now. Once my coffee wears off, I sort of like my metabolism goes in the morning when I get up. Anyway, I've always been like that. And then if say that I got up and I was like showering, I had to go somewhere, it would be even worse. No, I was like that before any type of premenopause. It's just in the morning, my metabolism is like, because I probably have to get up and do stuff in a natural thing. Yeah. And it's you got to be warm. The morning is the coldest time, so yeah, that's kind of ringing true to me now. Um, if you haven't been like that throughout your life, I know I have. I didn't know before if it was from showering or being nervous and stuff, and it's not. It's just in the morning. As soon as I get up, my body is just, and it makes sense. That's the coldest time of the day is the morning. So because of my age, I'm not sure, but Diane said that um, Angela person who can't be my species, so I'm not sure, other than just for the topic, that she was not menstruating. I don't know if that's something that goes on with these people that you're calling Inuits in the wintertime, if the women are going into, what do they call that? Menorah? Menorah, what's it called? When you don't get your period, but you're at the age where you should be because of the cold. Yeah. It will generate like symptoms of that. Or you'll get the hot flashes and stuff, so you don't die. That's what I was wondering if that was something that goes on in nature in the wintertime. So it's probably difficult to study people because they're at work and they're in houses. I watched the video. They're at work and they're in houses, so we don't know. And they have too much body fat, as the one man was explaining to you, and it's probably because of um, if they actually really live up there or they are stuck up there. Okay, so, well, it's a little bit of a joke that they can't come down here until they realize that there's one mother here, and this is how we do things. Otherwise, they got to stay up there. Speaking my language. That's why I said they know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, that was so funny, Charles Manson. You know what I'm talking about. They have no idea what he's talking about because that's all part of metaphysics. You know what I'm talking about. Like they're trying to do mind things on you. Kamala Harris hopes to break through the Biden campaign bubble. Okay. It seems the same. No, not from 5 minutes ago. It seems the same from. Let me see what the local people are saying. It's not that easy to come up with news, I'm sure. Nothing. Okay. Two people found dead in New Hampshire home near Mass border. And then some sort of deranged animals will take over this house now, right? And it'll become a rental. That's all they do. That's all they do. We're all just waiting for these people to finally keel over and die. So this is a good way to express it to you. Okay. So this has happened many times. It's been 13 years. Okay, people die and don't have any. Say that a person dies. It's like the house in Dedham with a woman. Her daughter doesn't live with her, and she's being put into a nursing home. And she flags me down on Court Street in Dedham. Okay, so I go into her home. She can't work the TV and stuff. It's clear why she's going into a nursing home because she can't take care of herself anymore. She doesn't know how to turn a TV on. So she gives me her daughter's phone number and all this. She tells me she's got all these problems with her legs and she's going into the hospital tomorrow. And then here comes a woman who I assume is a visiting nurse of some sort. And she was actually kind of rude to me. And I explained to her what the woman they never want to hear what the person is saying. Okay. And I'm homeless. Okay. I'm the Virgin Mother. Okay. So this is a house that should have been donated to me because the woman flagged me down from the street. And then I went on the internet and explained the incense and the tea to give her for her legs. And then you still don't donate me her house. So there's other species for you folks to go into. Okay. So you clearly her daughter sold the house and then took the money. Okay, well, there you go. All that's been going on for 13 years is God explaining to you because most of you have a question about what's going to happen when you die. You won't be rebirthing here. Other than that, I don't know specifically. All I know is you won't be rebirthing here. You will not stay on planet Earth in this physical body. So you have another example of it, and it's just 13 years of it because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people, and some of these people, clearly the daughter didn't need the house. So they are just deranged. And that's all they do in their life is they still think they're collecting real estate and getting rich and controlling people. So it is a lot of people that we're waiting for to die for even that facet of this to end. Okay, so you cannot produce a housing key for a woman, so thermonuclear weapons are going to solve that problem. Not you get breaks, not you text me and say charges fell. You don't control the nuclear material. Okay? Already told, can't have a hostage, I'm your hostage, and every day you make it worse, like we just saw between October and February. So that can only mean you're demanding to be put down, so your demands will be met. Your demands will be met, and you're being put down. so you don't have to worry about being forced to stay here. Okay? And then, for my opinion, anybody that were to ask me that actually does control the nuclear material, I don't have to go back out there. It was that bad already. And it's just logic in your head that after 2 years of obvious nuclear bombardment, you're still doing this. You've lost so much brain matter. It has to be completed at this point because now it's far worse than it was 2 years ago. Like, don't know how to crack, don't know what to do with hard boiled eggs, observing her, the criminal behavior. You don't know who a person is. That Charmaine person completely degrading in a month. Okay, so it's get some lung cancer already because you're still like that with your brains and you're still breathing. You people won't be able to walk anymore, and you will still be alive. Okay, because there's one of you downstairs. That's how I know. So really pray for lung cancer because eventually you would probably get an infection and die, or you die from dehydration because she cannot walk. She has literally no way to get herself water. She cannot get up and walk to a sink. She cannot use a telephone. She doesn't, even if she had one next to her. Okay, Lester doesn't know how to use his cell phone. He doesn't know how to return a text. That's what I'm telling you. And he's walking around, he's talking to people. Okay. So really pray for lung cancer. You're not me. Okay. You're not in tune with the Father. And she's been a person who's been praying and stuff all the time. And you people never seek out Almighty God. So really pray for lung cancer. I'm talking about people that could be walking around just screaming at people because they haven't eaten or drank anything for days. Their dementia is that bad and they don't know why they're like that. Well, that's usually what causes one of those ground wars. It's people that have a brain plague. And it's just that's what I told you. Once it starts, there's no way to stop it. It's literally like Zombie Land in Night of the Living Dead, which I don't find to be funny and I don't want to observe it. Yeah, so I believe that God is preventing that from happening. And like when you know that people are that sick in the city, I don't want to be out there again. I don't want to look at it. Um, so people sharing females and stuff, I don't want to look at that anymore. I had to observe it when Joanne was doing it. She was walking around with two boyfriends all over the place. I don't want to look at that stuff. It's just so repulsive and disgusting to me. I had to listen to it, the words in my head just, this is the female, this is the person that I really connected with, and they're having threesomes in a tent in the woods. Okay, thanks. Thanks for the information. That's what I'm talking about. These people have got to be put down. It's really gross. Like they told you in the video last night, you have to have certain skin for some of the stuff you guys are doing. I'm talking about welts. I don't know what you're doing in that house, but um, yeah, just because their brains are gone. Your brain has to be pretty gone to be using certain types of drugs and for a long time, right? It's like talk about like skin fungus and um, scabies and body lice and head lice and because in their brain, they are one of those animals in that video last night. They've lost so much brain matter because she told me she doesn't have to bathe because the germs keep you healthy. You don't have that type of skin. You don't have leather skin. Okay. Like they probably can't even get scabies or lice because their skin is too thick. Right. They could have a bug crawling around them, but it can't actually bite their skin and live on them. Okay. Whereas you people that talk about open sores, boils, all of it, because they don't think they have to bathe. They become probably afraid of the water because I think that they're actually afraid of water. Um, Primates, like they hide under a tree when it's raining. That's why they don't go outside for their walks when it's raining. Okay, so they literally become, they won't even bathe anymore because it's a natural fear of water. So just think about how disgusting that is. Yeah, I went over the thing about the pinging again last night. Of course, most people probably you go right to this stuff about sex because that's all your species does. Everything is about that, and it's kind of disgusting, but it's because you're constantly breeding and your brains are so reduced. Um, but it just has to do with you. It's just a weird phenomenon about like a different species. It's hard to explain. Like that's why you like that music because the music is good. That trap stuff, and I don't use drugs, but it explains a lot about why you guys are using so much drugs. You're trying to basically, you don't know it, um, but that's what you're doing because your species doesn't ping anybody. Right? There's no actual sort of like the thing I was talking about where you can send out almost like a, or you think you can, almost like a vibration, and then you get one back. You guys definitely don't do that. Some people like to make up things that you absolutely don't do. I can just tell by your behavior you don't do it. So that's if you wanted to know why that music is so popular, because they said it got real popular, and why they're using drugs and stuff and listening to it and stuff. That's why. It has to do with pinging. As soon as I looked it up on the wiki to find out what trap music meant, because I don't know what that is. I'm not cool like that with the drug houses and stuff. So then I went, oh, the drug houses, da da da. Okay, so there's a connection between using drugs because they have none of that going on. Okay, and it's just a terrible, terrible, cold, cold world, right? Because they're primates and they're all antisocial. And so it's just, they're ready to go on to something else. That all of them, even the ones that are trying to elate off of hurting me, hurting others, hurting their own species, getting more money. I mean, $34 trillion. Come on, look around. They've done all they could do. They started making holidays for their third cousin and stuff. Like they tried to elate off of urinating and defecating on the American flag, and just anybody who actually accomplished anything in their lives, like Martin Luther King Jr., they got to piss and poop on him and then think it's a funny joke to give their third cousin a holiday in their state. They're just, it's a grotesque, grotesque species that won't be missed. So, Ziploc bag just flew into the front yard. We don't use those kinds. I think it's the one that you like. You just go like this with the piece of plastic, the expensive ones. I'm actually gonna have to put the robe on now. We'll see. Maybe at 11 I'll stop my stuff and then. Excuse me. Eventually, I'll do my hair. I doubt it's going to happen today. I got to do my hair. I got to do something about my feet. I got to get one of those. I used to have one. Uh, what the heck's it called? No, maybe I'm being told not to buy it because it's. I don't need an emery board. No, it's a pumice stone. There we go. Need a pumice stone. Maybe they'll fall from the sky, and then they won't have a cost. Have it start coming down the sky. Ploop. So was it untrue when I said that you're in Pompeii? Was that untrue? Um, that Indian one is like an hour long that I put on Facebook because I wanted to make sure I could access. That was my favorite one so far. I could jog to that, but that's not going to do a jam. But that's if I say I just go, I'm going to jog 20 minutes and then figure out. Usually when I do the 30-minute one, I jog like 15, 20 minutes. I went 20 minutes straight, and then I do like a jam thing for like 5 or 6 minutes because that's how long the jam song is. And then the rest of the time, I just jog again. That's the thing I started doing. I don't really like jogging, so yeah, I have to come up with different things. It's not like walking. So I'm probably having a lot more fatigue than registers. But when I start walking, I seem to be fine. So also, I think there's a lot less stress in my life too. So it's kind of like both things. Sometimes you can feel sort of when you were on a big stress thing and it starts to come down because I think I'm negating the amount of stress I just went through between March and around December or January, probably. So it's only February now. So it goes way, way, way beyond like I liked a boy and it didn't work out. It goes way beyond that. Yeah, clearly. I mean, the whole entire thing is just. It was good for the population to see that it has more to do than their system things that they blame on. So that kind of puts psychopaths in a corner because there's no them they to rely upon. So, well, God is obviously doing it for some reason, so they come to acceptance. If people are starting to get this tired, yeah, you go, you're not going to be able to maintain this. So, I explained about the infrastructure. Okay. That's why they wouldn't use traditional bombs if people maybe they were thinking that. Like, what are you talking about? We're not being bombed. And then it was explained to you to look up the technology. Okay. It's difficult when people have brain disease. You go, okay, I just spent like 6 weeks. You don't have dementia? How is that a person's life? Okay, that is. You don't know who I'm talking about? Holy shit. Okay. Some of the stuff they still try to hide and like stuff is private. It's a court record isn't private. That's why I used to be able to look them up. And you're not even supposed to be doing court. That's why it doesn't show up as a court case. Just you guys are so sick. Who knows what they were thinking? Maybe they're appearing before me or something. And but the way, and then you see what they do too. They won't stop acting like their world is real while they're doing that. You got to be put down. No one's appearing before me. You're criminally deranged. You're not appearing before me. You don't have a previous. I don't guess who you are. You're criminals. Another place and time for that crap. Even people that do cycle. That's why people aren't doing that. They're insane. So this is about who are you? You're a primate in an extinction. Yeah, just wildly insane criminals. Good. I guess I could start looking up my music, but I use music to do my ab work and my bicep curls. So yeah, sometimes I'll do this and then I flick to something else, anyways. I got this Facebook, so I think all I have to do is click on it to get to that one. I don't need to do that yet, I guess, because that's going to take up two windows. Let me do. I usually do. I've been doing what they gonna do, which I used to do for abs. That's what I've been doing for abs. And then I usually do like I do a different song. It depends for bicep curls. I might do "We Will Rock You" or something. I don't do Cardi B anymore. I'm done with that song. So. Any song that's like a certain length, like it's got to be at least like 5 minutes, but not like 10 minutes. It's usually about 5 minutes. And I just go 10, 10, 10, 10. And I probably need to add weight. That came up the other day. But until I can increase the amount of food I'm eating, that seems pointless. But at least I'm doing them. Whereas last winter, I have to think of the positive. Last winter, I couldn't even do this with my arms. So I've got to be doing better than I was last year, even though I was walking to the food pantry. Uh, oh God, I remember that. Like pushing the cart with my arm like that. Yeah, it definitely must have been this that was when they reversed the thing, and I'd be putting bags on my arm because you see how it goes. You don't want to put bread and desserts underneath all the stuff because I had one of those stand up things and I would shop with that. So I never had to wait because I didn't even have to wait for a cart. They let me just go because I had my own shopping cart. Someone disabled three shopping carts. If you were wondering why I don't walk there. Okay, so that's why I said you are gonna be put down until I have housing and a means to live. So anytime you're wondering what's going on, it's been explained to you numerous times, and you have to go, why won't God allow us to do this? So, New Hampshire, two people are found dead, and then some deranged animal will somehow acquire that house. That's all that's been going on because they're deranged animals. So, the thermonuclear weapons is putting them down. So, eventually, like I said, they will stop coming here. Eventually, they will stop coming here unless people are forcing them to come here. Once they can make a phone call to their homeland and go, where so and so just died. Yeah, like we just got up this morning and they're dead. It's called lung cancer. You got at least 400 of them in Plymouth. So, whatever it is, I explained it. Not a guessing game. Not a guessing game. Will not stop trying to force people to live with other people and stuff because you thought you were making a show. Some of you forgot, but that is exactly what you thought you were doing. So, as many as it takes, bloop, 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 and I just wait. The whole population's waiting in awe of it all, I'm sure. I was joking around. It was almost like that thing that happened at the thing in Los Angeles was like my dream, but I go, I don't know. That seems a little, I guess. What is Charles Manson supposed to represent? But it was like weird because it was like Charles Manson, but it was Brian, and I was like, oh, so you are alive, and it like made me go this way. I know, like I'm walking by, and I don't know. I don't think I would need that to be told to me. Yeah, like I don't think it's that. Where you go, oh, he made you go into a liquor store or something. I didn't go into a liquor store though. I went to this thing because the doorways were not like the doors were not defined and stuff too. And I went in the thing, and it was like a big, huge room where people like community had set up like coffee stations. It was almost like when you go to vote. That's what I'm talking about. You ever go to vote and it's like just a big room and these things are set up? It was like that, but they were all different coffee things. Maybe yeah, Charles Manson's invited me to have coffee. He going to be taller than 5'6"? Is he going to do the hair real short like that with the beard? Because that was actually hotter than the big long hair. But, anyways, maybe take a poll. You don't even want to know. Take a poll of your females, and you go, oh, okay, I see. Because when he was younger, he was actually hot when he was younger, but he didn't age well. He didn't age well. You got to marry young, I guess. But you go, Oh, I see. So females like this. Well, it's this personality and stuff. But that was so funny, that dancing thing. I'm brand new. I can't even do the things with the arms. That's like the coolest part. I'm brand new. He said he was 5'6". That's how tall I am. That is like pretty short for a dude. Anyways. No, I've not Charles Manson at all. I just think he's funny. He's funny, and he was clearly hot when he was younger. Yeah. So that's why a bunch of models were hanging out with him. They wouldn't talk to other dudes. No, like even to find out that he had a ranch and all that business, you see a dude and you just go, that it wouldn't matter if you had a ranch covered in diamonds. Models don't care. They're not going to go to your ranch. They just go. I'm sure they didn't care. They were eating out of garbage cans. They didn't care that the guy had a place to go. I know you just people like it's the other species mostly. Just they have a belief that that's basically. I don't know what that is in a forest. Yeah, just you don't have anything genetically going on, and so you have a piece of paper, and then they try to go, okay, well, you have a house, you have a piece of paper. No, nope. Yeah, got a house, got a piece of paper, got a guitar. No, nope. Anyways, some of the models would go, we just go like this, and they give us $1,000. I know you, right? No, no, we're all set with that. Nope. They do. It's just like a really strong held belief. That's part of the reason they fucking hate me. Pardon my French. It's just a wicked, strong held belief that and you just go because they have to have a hatred. They have to have a hatred for beautiful women, right? Because they can't marry them, right? And you just go, I can't be bought. I am all set with that. I don't care if I'm 85, right? Just please explained all that too. It doesn't matter how much of an asshole Brian Buchanan is. Like, that's why I felt like he was literally going around passing off chicks to other dudes. Well, it's yeah. So we see that it didn't work out with Brian, and so okay, you're being euthanized. Stay the f away from me as a group, as a city, 100,000 people. Okay, really, stay in your area and breathe deep. Obviously, I'm being nuked too. Yeah, I'm not being nuked. The whole land piece is. I don't know if some of these people have been flying around with their children and stuff, trying to figure out where the nukes are and avoiding it. That's scary. You need to stop it. You should have left the entire North America. I don't know why you stayed here. Fully in the agreement. You have to listen to God, people, really. Come on. Even if there was no nukes, okay, people still were getting cancer before they started nuking everyone. Okay. So, why in 2011, when you heard about me, did you not just give me my children back? Did you not just tell me I could go back to my house? Why didn't you give me a Section 8 my children could have came where I was? Okay, so just accept what God is telling you. And now here we are 13 years later, and you're still doing it. Opportunity and just consider it like a brain thing that God's doing. He will not let you think to stop doing it. I mean, at one point you were told it was 100 people in a city. 100 people in a city. So, right, it's part of God explaining it to you if you're rational at this point at all. Like when you go, we didn't know what to do. It's not our we know that. That's why you can't stay in this physical body. None of that exists in the kingdom of heaven. None of that exists. Okay? So it's a species that can't exist on Earth anymore. Okay? The brains are too reduced. And it's just can't figure out how to solve logical problems and won't listen to anybody that can. So it's just over, kaput, and done. So you're still at the airport, some of you. Like I explained to you when I was at the airport for like a day and a half. You're still there, year 13. That doorway, that hallway, down the escalator, over there. 13 years. That's about it. You got about four things, like Brian going to this bench, that bench, this bench. Just like I explained, going down to the step, going over there, do, smoking, drinking, da da da. 13 years, you folks. Same thing. Well, this might have something to do with being a little bit more tired too, because I was taking like 4 days off and now I'm not letting myself do that. Yeah, just that's the good news. I already checked off today. Friday, I walked up to 138, right? So that right there was part of it because I think I was going like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was going like 4 days. It's crazy. So this week might be the first week I stopped doing that because I remember going, I've got to go at least 4 days. What did I do Friday? Did I just do did I just do my routine? Why am I thinking that I walked? Did I just go to the store? Probably. Because I remember I'm going to do 4 days. I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. So then Friday, I must have done my stuff and then just walked to Stop and Shop. Okay. Because that's when I got this water. Gotcha. Okay. I'm just trying to keep track of what I'm doing. So yesterday was food pantry. I wasn't due to do anything, so I just did the food pantry. And so today is I set up this stuff. That's why I added jog walks because I wasn't even doing that. I added jog walks to the every other day. Okay. So basically tomorrow I'd be due to take a walk. Well, I'm not really writing it down. If I go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I got to take a walk. Then I know I'm doing it 4 days. Well, today is the 18th. I think it's a week from Friday. Yeah, a week from Friday is the first. So that's really, we're less than 2 weeks now to the next carb week. Yeah. So that, it goes by pretty fast, doesn't it? Seems like it was just carb week. And I go 1, 2, 3, and then I ended it. But I did like every day a Joe. I haven't done that in a while. Yeah. So it's only today will be 2 weeks. since the does. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself. Fa, a long, long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread. La, a note that follows so. No, wait, I forgot one. Tea, a drink with jam and bread. All goes back to do, 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 do. A deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself. Fa, a long, long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread. La, a note that follows so. Tea, a drink with jam and bread. Well, the lungs seem clear, even though I'm not a very good singer. The lungs seem clear. So that's the important part. I don't know if I care about that. Like at first, I was like, not at first, but a couple of years ago, I was like, well, maybe I would want to be able to sing, but I really don't think I care about singing. I got to say, like singing to sound actually good. Anybody can sing. Clearly, anyone can sing. It's just if people want to actually hear it singing. Yeah, I don't think I care about that. I got to be honest. I didn't know if that was going to be a talent I wanted to acquire in the next thing, but I honestly don't think I care about that. Yeah, it's just not my thing. I'm more about like movement, I guess. But some people do both things. I'm not trying to negate singing. I mean, Jesus, thank God for singers. Um, but yeah, like I just sort of focus on movement stuff, I guess. Instruments, I want to learn instruments. Yeah, obviously the piano is my favorite one. That was like a life dream of mine, and I finally got a piano, and that was the first thing the dude removed from my house. You just go, okay, thanks. So it begins. Piano, children, destroy my swimming pool, all of it. You just go, okay, is that helping or? You really want to be with someone who wants to be with you. I know, just go like, you shouldn't want to be with someone who like doesn't even think you're hot and stuff. Just that's all part of the reason I got away from that dude. You just go, dude, this is not right. It's not that the compliments would be made up given you're that age and that's how you look, and that other dude is that age and that's how he looks. Get it? I'm not one of your disgusting chads where you go, what am I supposed to just make up stuff? Like, get it? Move along. Move along. Move along. Move along. It's none of it's even like personality and stuff either. Like when I told people, okay, so you think you like somebody, can you write a paragraph about them? And then you go, okay, it's really sort of like this. As much as like I wanted to like you, every time I interact with you, it's nothing but makes me, it leaves a negative impression upon me. It's just the weirdest thing where it's just no matter how much I wanted to actually like you and care about you, just even when I took breaks, I'd come back here and go, okay, we'll give this a couple of days. Just like I said when I went out there. And I go, I got to be honest, I was hoping that you would have gone to the hospital by now. Okay, so clearly any separation from me is not going to cause that to happen. You just go, that's pretty, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't want to keep bringing up Michael Forian because people get it confused, but I can't think of any other hot person right now. Right? You just go, say that the person wasn't my father, okay? And it's just like, well, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm your girlfriend, da 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 da. And I wouldn't be making up excuses for why he's got to get back to something. Like, he even did it at the hospital. I wouldn't be making up excuses why he's got to go somewhere. I just remember that day, and Karen's like, if you've got somewhere to be, and he's just sort of goes, this little look on his face, like, but it's not for the reasons like it, right. That's why, because he just imagine you're with your daughter, okay, right? And it's that's exactly what it is. And so he's going, where are you going with my daughter? I don't have anything else to do. So we left the beach, and you're taking my daughter where? Where are you taking my daughter? Okay. And what are you saying to her over there when I'm back here? What are you saying to her? Get it? The second that I left, he probably went and off with his friends or something, at least for a couple of hours. Because he was not with her 24 hours a day on that beach. I know you just go, Karen, um, okay, no, I don't have anything to do. What's going on? Okay, now we'll walk in there. All right. But anyway, yeah, like it doesn't make any sense as to that's why when Patrick left with her, you go, we're done. Yeah, like probably the first day. Like, okay, so you talked to me to get $20 and now you're leaving. Then the second day, so you talked to me to get $10, now you're leaving. And then the third day, you're leaving because you only talked to me in the hopes to get more money. And you realized you're not getting another penny from me at this point. Okay. You really should have just stayed the hell away from me. It wouldn't matter how many times I walked out there. Why did you keep talking to me? I know, you just go, you are. That is end of life druggy psychopath right there. Just what in the heck? Remember when Michael and his sister tried to do that thing because they wanted Karen to give them money, not me. That's why he wouldn't take it from me. I have $20. He wouldn't take it. Okay? And that's not someone that's going out with me. I couldn't imagine Patrick taking money from me either. Patrick always has his own money. So that's not ever an issue with Patrick. It's just, I guess I don't understand it when I clearly won't give you money anymore. That's what I didn't get, why that was still going on. So it's kind of becomes like Jen. Jen didn't, I had no money to give Jen. She had her own money. It's like, I don't know if he shifted, something snapped in his head after the third day because it's the World Wide Web. Maybe something snapped in his head because he's psychotic. Get it? That's what they do. They believe they have a right to do stuff to you because you're judging them, judging you. You used me for $30. You're a disgusting, vile drug addict with no heart. Am I judging you? I couldn't have been any nicer. That's why you go, you will never hear my voice again. Okay, dude? Seriously, just. It's really time for you to be told the fucking truth. It doesn't mean that I'm a hidden thing and I'm secretly bad. That's you. You're secretly fucking bad, not I am. It's just chicks don't continue to talk to you in that way. You just become like any other disgusting dude. Not, oh, well, see, that's a act or something. You people are really, that's how they justify everything they're doing. You people are complete fucking nutcases. Oh yeah, and then she turned on me like a dime or something. No, she didn't. That's how I talk to every fucking dude out there. Not I turned on you. Fucking wackos. These people are new. I never met these fucking people before. The one that I questioned was Derek, if he was at the hotel. And it's not like we had mad conversations. There was a dude at the hotel that was talking to Casey. Right, you just go, it doesn't mean, I mean, he's the only person that maybe I don't even know if we actually met. Remember the one I told you walked into the hotel and goes, I need a night out because it was like Christmas Eve. And the chick goes, did you clear it with your caseworker? And the look on the guy's face, like, that's the only person I questioned if it might have been the same dude. The other people, I never met you. And that Chris guy, I didn't know if that was Christie's husband from 2012. Other than that, I don't know you people. You're all new. Amy was at the hotel. Nicole, I've met before. That's why it's like, where did you come from? Are you even homeless? How many times have they offered you people housing, like Paul with the cane? Amy admitted they offered her a room and she turned it down. I know you go, okay, you people are nutters. Oh, you're absolutely nutters. So they couldn't get you out of a hotel. Okay. And then you show up at the hotel when we all are vomiting our brains out and you start abusing me. Okay. And then I find out later they offered you a room and you wouldn't take it. Okay. You people are nutters. That's at least two of them. And supposedly Nicole kept looking at apartments too. And she collects. She collects, right? Because she clearly has money. Okay. You people are nutters. You know who probably knows that is that other John guy that gave me the poncho, right? You just go, okay, you have housing. Why? How do you have a bed in here and we're being told to sit up in a fucking chair? You're disgusting. People waiting in a line trying to get a bed and you people already have housing. You're fucking nutters. Breathe deep. Oh yeah, I swear to God, I think they thought that it was, oh, now we get to meet Mary and find out who we were, but you're being put down. I am a hostage. Okay. That's why they don't offer me a room and then I turn it down because I want to stay in a hotel and pretend I'm a prisoner. And then immediately go into a fucking bed when you come back from a hotel. And then you're pissed because I'm sick. Too fucking bad. Take your fucking room you were offered. Fucking nutter. Oh yeah, because she was one of the abusive people too. You could see the shift in her mood when she thought that I was going to get housing and stuff. She completely flipped out. Okay, that's why you're being put down. It's like a psychopathic insanity. You're not going to mess up my housing. I'm the Virgin Mother. You can't possibly provide housing to me. The whole land piece is being nuked. All of you people's ovum and your uteruses are all poisoned. So you don't really have anything I need. Clearly, in the short term, you try to wield your authority to starve me and stuff. So everybody wants to be important. That's what you have the community for, not Mary Gladys. One of the things they started doing a long time ago, and I don't know if those people got caught up in it, um, uh, wasn't it around 2019 or something? It might have been before that. They tried to tell you that you had to stay in that shelter 365 consecutive days. Okay. So that made the illness worse that people were already doing out there that I was talking about yesterday. Okay. Where it becomes a game where you attack people to fuck up their housing. Okay. There's no such policy and no such game. That's why you're being euthanized. There's a million reasons why you're being euthanized, but that's another reason. No one runs a housing authority like that. Okay. You just completely, it's called profuse mental illness because your brains are dying and you're acting like animals. So in a jungle, I don't know if what that translates into. Like primatologists might have an interest in talking to you folks, but right now we're in a bombardment of nuclear material, so you may not have as many people visiting you out there as you typically do, and I don't know if that's causing you stress. You're going to have to try to cope with it, like people not visiting, people not calling you, asking you for things, because there's so much nuclear material in that area. People don't want to be exposed to it. So they can call you on a phone, but they're not going to probably travel out there for a while. Okay, so I'm sure it's going to get sad and boring for you. You're probably sitting in some building, either the same building or the one across the street with nobody in it, but you're deranged other community members that pretend they're homeless in your show act. Okay. So, it's because of the brains melting. Like it's really, really disgusting. It's just a horrifying. They don't have elderly dementia, so nothing like makes them weirded out because they started out that gross. Like their baseline is that gross. They're mentally retarded and whatever their inner thoughts were. So I knew it was weird when Taylor said that. Sometimes things really seem psychopathic and sadistic, and then you go, well, now that we've come to this point, they are psychopathic and sadistic, but you go, is that like a monkey game you made up? It's got to be some sort of monkey game you made up for your fun. Okay. And then you have like chosen prisoners that partake in it. Okay. Do you have people now coming out from their housing to partake in the fun game where you cause a person to leave so they don't get 365 consecutive days and then they don't get housing? It almost seems like yeah, like in their brains, is that what they think is going on when they're murdering other members? Well, God's containing you things because you are murderously insane. So that's probably part of the way he's containing you. That's the God's honest truth. Yeah. Like that was transcribed into that because you want to just murder people like you were trying to murder me in the hotel. Not that's a new thing. All right, 11:14. I'm going to stop my stuff now.